Professor Paul Romer, who's an economist and a Nobel Prize winner, he also met with the Prime Minister. Let's take a look at how he's reacted to the entire situation.
First, we met in 2013, 10 years ago, when he was in Gujarat and I was very interested in cities. So we talked about the importance of successful urban development and the things that the government really needs to do to help lead in urban development. And he understands these issues very well. I then suggested the idea that one way to try and encourage states or cities to do something is, instead of mandating it, to offer a reward or a prize. And he said, oh yes, and he's done this. So he already understood that completely. He also talked about the experience in Gujarat when he was encouraging the redevelopment of Bhuj, I think it is. And it was emphasizing how important it is for government officials to get people behind whatever it is that they have to do, even if it's something like, rebuilding. You need to build public support, and so he understands that that's the real challenge in keeping urbanization going, and that he can't do that anymore directly from Delhi, but he has to reward the heads of the states and the city governments to do what he did before. So it was a very good conversation about urbanization, and he articulated very well the main message, which is that urbanization is not a problem, it's an opportunity. And I take it this is a slogan that he's used before. Then I started to describe a system for basically authenticating who someone is. That's what I'm working on in the United States right now. If I'm sending an email to someone, how do I prove that it's really Paul Romer who's sending an email? I can't do it right now in the United States. And I started to outline, well, there might be a way together with cell phones to do this, and it could link to Aadhaar. And the Prime Minister started to try and explain to me, we're already doing it. And so my idea is something that, is already in train. So with the EKC, electronic Know Your Customer, they're already doing it. And the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff then showed me the app on the phone that is the container or the locker for certificates. It was describing the use of the mobile number. So for me, a good day is when I learn something, and I learned a bunch about what India is doing on this issue of authentication. And I think it's really exciting because the government has to be involved, as they are, but they have this foundation with the Aadhaar system that means they can do things that most governments around the world can't do. So as I said, it's a good day when I learn something. I'm really very eager to stay in close touch. And I think India, just as India did this for Aadhaar, I think for telephony and electronic authentication, I think India could really show the world how to do it right.
I'm planning to visit India next year. I'm confident that Tesla will be in India, and will do so as soon as humanly possible. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his support, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something in the not-too-distant future.
Are you looking to invest in India,
Elon? Yes.
How soon can we have Tesla in India?
Well, we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to jump the gun on an announcement, but I think it's quite likely that there will be a significant investment and relationship with India in the future.
That's big news. What made you change your mind?
I've never changed my mind.
How was your meeting with the Prime Minister?
I have to go, guys. Thank you. It was an excellent, very good conversation.
It was an incredible opportunity. We had some of the leaders of leading institutions of higher education in the United States, all of whom owed our success to the education we got in India. And to have the opportunity to sit down with the Prime Minister and listen to his vision of how these two great democracies, India and the United States, can work together to build relationships in higher education was truly inspiring. I look at this from the vantage point of being president of Penn State University. We produce more STEM majors than any other university in the country, and it was so inspiring to listen to the Prime Minister talk about whether it's in the field of agriculture, whether it's in the field of critical technologies, minerals. We have so many allied interests. He talked about how with the digital university today, you can break all boundaries. He also talked about how to create opportunities to uplift all of India. So I can tell you honestly that it was an incredible opportunity, and I'm so thankful to have had that opportunity.
Well, Elon Musk certainly does not want to jump the gun. Do you want to jump the gun on your excitement? He says not in the very distant future. He hopes something can be put on the negotiation table. How can we expect Tesla cars on Indian roads anytime soon?
Well, I was interested in that question that was asked by one of the journalists, saying that what made you change your mind? Because Tesla was supposed to invest in India, but then later pulled out for reasons that they said.
He says, I never changed my mind.
He said he never changed his mind, but he did pull out, and let's accept the fact that he did pull out for another destination. And Elon Musk also, in fact, trying to probably get back into India, and probably there should be some kind of a lucrative option that should be given to him. And that's why he says that not in the distant future. That means he should be considering about the potential that he can use in India. But we must also understand that we are slowly becoming an EV market. We are also becoming a potential leader when it comes to EV vehicles. You have seen that kind of change in our auto
on the roads itself.
Yeah. So you have a hybrid, you have a completely EV vehicle, you have charging points, EV charging points now slowly appearing, and it's becoming very common as well. So all these, and then look at how the situation is there in Delhi and NCR regions. We have seen the humble, e-rickshaws that are there in our system. That is the last man connectivity in many places in this. So we know how to use our EV potential really well. And also, down there in Kerala, they have started manufacturing electric autos under a state company. So we are actually thought leaders in that, and probably.
And Elon Musk himself has said that India is a great place for solar investment as well.
Yes, he said that when it comes to 2% of the land is what they are looking at to power India. So he's mentioned that it wouldn't take up a lot of land when it comes to using solar panels to power up this thing. And we again, solar energy is something we have been pioneers again in. So these are advantages that the certain tech companies are planning to take advantage of when it comes to India, and what is the kind of research and collaboration that we can have when it comes to renewable energy as well. But Tesla coming to India would be a big move, Kabir.
Absolutely, and it most certainly is a big red carpet welcome for the Prime Minister, and also for the Prime Minister. It's not like, he's done his homework. I know he's got a battery of, researchers who are there with him, and he's probably got a translator, a cultural expert, a proper team.
No, I was very interested when one of the, we had, I think Professor Roma, in fact, saying that he was shown about the DigiLocker facility. And then he was surprised at that. Because, again, it is about authenticating, and how Aadhaar is being used as an authenticator. So how it is happening, these are.
He's talking about Bhuj. He's talking about space with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's talking about investment with Elon Musk. He's talking about, science with different other leaders. With
science with business. That is what we are looking at.
Absolutely. Dr. Neeli, Bendapudi, who's the president of the Pennsylvania State University, he's talking about, the realm of
higher
digital education,
collaboration, and all that is possible.
So much that the Prime Minister is talking about. It's not like, he's making these conversations boring. He's talking with everybody, all these thought leaders that are coming to him, really making the most of this visit, isn't he?
He is making a most of a visit. I think these 3 days of this 3-day visit is going to be, as I said earlier, watershed moment in probably Indo-US relations, because before, when any of the prime ministers went, we are talking about how we can break the ice which was there because of the Soviet Union, and we have broken that ice. The successive prime ministers have been able to break that ice, but I think Prime Minister Modi is consolidating this relationship on to the next level, and this is not just a relationship that is looked upon whether by international politics or geopolitical reality. It is a relationship that is growing multifold, especially when it comes to trade, high defense trade, high tech trade. All these factors are being looked into it as of now. So I think we should probably look at the multi-dimensional factor when it comes to this relationship that India is trying to cultivate with the United States. Of course, it has been the way that we have been doing it with other countries as well. But with the United States, it seems that finally the ice has been broken.
Absolutely. You know what? Our sister organization TV9 and several of our colleagues are also on the ground in the United States of America. They've been, speaking to various people. We'll play out those conversations with you. Right now, let's take a look at what Vivek Lal, American scientist, has to say on the Prime Minister's big US state visit.
TV9 भारतवर्ष पर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की एक्सक्लूसिव कवरेज बरकरार है और अब हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं श्री विवेक लाल, जो जनरल एटॉमिक्स कॉर्पोरेशन के एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन है। इन्होंने ये इस रोल में आने के बाद बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें की हैं अमेरिका में, और उसका थोड़ा सा जो एक बज़वर्ड जो चल रहा है वो मैं आपको टीज करूंगा, वो है ड्रोन्स। लेकिन हम ड्रोन्स पे आएंगे। सर, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे जानने की कोशिश करूंगा कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की जो विजिट है, इसके बारे में जो जनरल एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, आप इतनी बड़ी पोजीशन पे हैं अमेरिका में, आपको क्या लगता है कि इस विजिट से भारत को और अमेरिका के रिश्तों में कितना बदलाव आ सकता है और क्या चेंज आ सकता है?
जी, ये जो ड्रोन्स के विषय है, ये इंडिया के लिए और यूएस के लिए बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट एरिया ऑफ साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट है। ड्रोन्स के अनेक एप्लीकेशंस होते हैं, सिर्फ डिफेंस में ही नहीं, एग्रीकल्चर में और दूसरे सेक्टर्स में। लेकिन ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी है मोर प्रेवलेंट हो रही है, राइट फ्रॉम छोटे ड्रोन से लेके बहुत बड़ी ड्रोन्स तक, मिलिट्री एप्लीकेशन से, जैसे मैंने कहा एग्रीकल्चरल एप्लीकेशंस में या और पैकेज डिलीवरी एप्लीकेशंस में। सो ये टेक्नोलॉजी विल कंटिन्यू टू इवॉल्व और इसके जो एप्लीकेशंस होंगे और भी ज़्यादा होंगे इन द इयर्स टू कम।
तो क्योंकि जहाँ पे बहुत कुछ हो रहा है वाशिंगटन डीसी में, बड़ी बड़ी खबरें आ रही हैं ड्रोन्स की, डिफेंस डील्स की, थोड़ी हम वो बातें करेंगे थोड़े आने वाले दिनों में, आने वाले घंटों में शायद वो बातें हम और खुले रूप से कर पाएंगे। सर, जो मैंने आपसे इससे पहले पूछा था कि ये विजिट के बारे में आपकी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस है और अमेरिका और भारत के रिलेशंस को लेके अगर आप कुछ कह पाएँ तो।
अमेरिका और भारत के रिलेशंस बहुत अच्छे हैं और ये विज़िट एक हिस्टोरिक विज़िट होगा। इस विज़िट के वजह से भारत और अमेरिका के बीच में जो आने वाले वर्षों में को डेवलपमेंट, को प्रोडक्शन, जॉइंट कन्वर्जेंस ऑफ डिफेंस इंटरेस्ट या बहुत सारे दूसरे सेक्टर्स में जो इम्पॉर्टेंट है दोनों देशों के लिए, इनोवेशन के लिए, वो आप देखिएगा कि बहुत बड़ा लीप फॉरवर्ड लेगा इस विज़िट के बाद।
और सर, आखिरी सवाल आपसे, भारत में बहुत उत्सुकता है इस बात को लेके, एक्साइटमेंट है कि डिफेंस कोऑपरेशन की बात हो रही है, डिफेंस को मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात हो रही है। क्या जनरल एटॉमिक्स भारत में भी कुछ निवेश, कुछ इन्वेस्ट करके इस तरह की कोई चीज़ प्लान कर रहा है? क्योंकि हम इंडस एक्स में आए हैं, यहाँ पे इस तरह की बातें हो रही हैं, तो अगर आप कुछ भी बोल पाएँ थोड़ा बहुत।
तो हम लोगों ने कई टाइप्स किए हुए हैं, स्टार्टअप कंपनीज़ के साथ टाइप किया हुआ है इंडिया में, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में, सेमीकंडक्टर्स में, बड़े कंपनीज़ के साथ भी टाइप किया हुआ है और हमारा फुटप्रिंट बढ़ता चला जाएगा क्योंकि टैलेंट, इनोवेशन हम बहुत बढ़ती हुई रफ्तार से देखते हैं इंडिया में, और जो सिनर्जी है यूएस और इंडियन ऑपरेशंस में, इनोवेशन सिस्टम्स में, वो बहुत गहरा है।
तो ये है विवेक लाल, इनका नाम, इनके इंट्रोडक्शन की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, ये एक प्राइम एग्जाम्पल है एक सक्सेसफुल एनआरआई के, जिन्होंने भारत और अमेरिका में दोनों में इनके रूट्स हैं और जिन्होंने इस रिलेशनशिप को आगे ले जाने में बहुत काम किया है।